All right, y'all. So the topic that we're going to talk about for your remote learning day on Monday and Tuesday is going to be function word problems and an intro to domain and range. On Wednesday, I will do a second lesson on domain and range, and then you will have an assignment for Thursday. All right, so basically, like this says, is function word problems, which means they are pretty much all word problems. Okay, the function f of x equals 8.75x plus 52 models the amount that John earned working x hours in a week. G of x is 6.5x plus 78 is the amount of money that Chris earned working x hours in the same week. They want you to write a function and label it h of x, so they tell us here what to label it, that models the difference in John and Chris's earnings. Okay, so we should know that difference means to subtract. So all I'm simply going to do is I'm going to do John minus Chris. But in order to do that, I've got to make sure that I use parentheses and that I do distribute my negative so that I have the correct signs. So h of x is going to equal John, which is 8.75x plus 52 minus Chris, and I'm going to put Chris in parentheses. Okay, and the reason I have to do that is whenever I distribute that negative, that's going to become a negative 6.5 and a negative 78. Okay, and now you're going to combine like terms. 8.75 minus 6.5 is going to give me 2.25x, and positive 52 minus 78 is going to give me negative 26. So this would be the function for the difference in those two earnings. Okay. All right. Keywords here: cost, revenue, and profit. All right. Your cost is to result in or entail the loss of. Okay. So the cost is how much it costs somebody to make something. Revenue is the amount of money that comes in. So that's how much you charge. And then the profit is the difference in the two of those. Okay. So basically, what we're going to do here is profit equals revenue minus cost. Okay. And that's the formula that we're going to be using for this. Okay. So the word problem for this, C of x, which is going to represent the cost, 10x plus 750, models the cost to print x copies of a new magazine. R of x equals 14x is the revenue. Okay, so they want you to write a function, P of x, that models the profit. Okay, profit, remember, is going to equal revenue minus cost. And then I just plug in what those are for each. So our profit is going to be our revenue, which will be 14x, minus our cost, which is 10x plus 750. Okay, again, you've got to distribute that negative sign. So that makes that a negative 10x and a negative 750. And then we're going to combine like terms. So it's going to be 4x minus 750 is our profit equation. Okay. All right, f of x is 12x plus 60 is John. G of x is 9x plus 58 is Sam. And again, they want to know, write a function to represent how much more money John will have than Sam if they both mow X lawns. So we want to know how much more John will have, so we're going to do John minus Sam. Okay, so John is 12x plus 60 minus Sam is 9x plus 58. So again, you've got to distribute that negative and combine like terms. So it should be 3x plus 2. Okay. All right. Another cost, profit, and revenue. C of X is our cost, R of X is our revenue, and they want you to write the profit. So remember, profit equals revenue minus cost. So our profit is going to be our revenue, which is 15x plus 900, minus our cost, which is 12x plus 800. Distribute your minus sign. And combine your like terms. So our profit should be 3x plus 100. All right, so for the next ones, what we're going to do, and I will use the calculator on my phone because it's easier than Desmos. I know a lot of y'all like Desmos, but for tables, and I mean, I'll show you how to do it in Desmos here in a second, but I say I will. I think it's only recording my Elmo, so actually I probably won't. I'll see what I can do on here, or we'll just talk about that when we meet again. Okay, so let me get to the calculator on my phone. Okay, so it says the function v equals 10,000 times 0.86x to the x models the value of Sam's car x years after its purchase. What will the value of Sam's cars be 2 years after it's purchased? Okay, so this is just going to be, they want to know, then we're just going to plug that in for x, so 10,000.86 to the second power, and I'm going to do that. You can do that on Desmos, not that hard. Okay, 10,000.86 to the second power. Remember, we're dealing with money here, so if it had come out a decimal, then I definitely would have rounded to 2 decimal places. Okay, so I get 7,396 there. Okay, so straightforward. That's a growth or decay. Obviously, that's decay because this number is less than 1. Okay, V equals 15,999 times 0.87 to the x is the value of Lee's car x years after its purchase. What will the value of their car be 18 months after he purchased it? Okay, well, make sure the first thing you do is you have to convert 18 months to years. So 18 divided by 12 is going to give me 1.5 years. Okay, so when I'm plugging this in, it's going to be 15,999. 0.87 to 1.5, and I will do that in Desmos just to show you. I'll do it on my phone because, like I said, I can't share that screen on the calculator. I mean, on the computer for some reason. All right, so I would just type in 15,999 parentheses 0.87, close my parentheses, raised to the 1.5. And there it is, 12,982.90. Okay. All right. So here's the ones that are more difficult in Desmos. So I will do these definitely in the Calculate 84 app on my phone. Okay. Raise that up a little. Sorry, y'all. It's like trying to play a game with my brightness to make sure y'all can see it well. Okay. The function v equals 13,000.65 to the x models the value of Sally's car. 9,000.8 to the x models the value of Natalie's car. And they want to know how many years will it take for Natalie. Okay, so we've got Sally and we've got Natalie. They want to know how many years will it take for Natalie's car to have a greater value than Sally's car. So you want Natalie's car to be greater than Sally's car. Okay, now can you take numbers and plug them in? Sure, because it says how many years. We could do a table like we did the other day. But I'm going to show you kind of the shortcut way to do this. So if you'll take whatever calculator you're using, whether it's an actual TI-84 or this app, and go to y equals. Okay, and I'm going to type these in 13,000.65 to the x. And then the second one was 9,000.8 to the x. Okay, so now that I have them both entered into y equals, I need to look at my table. Okay, so I'm going to start by hitting second and window, which takes me to my table start. I want my table to always start at 0. Yours would probably say that if you haven't been changing anything. I was doing something for my other class before I started this, so that's why mine was different. Okay, and then I'm going to hit second graph, which is going to take me to my table. And what you'll see here, and this is one thing that's good about the phone versus the actual calculators, they are color coordinated. So Y1 is Sally. Okay, and you'll see 13,000 is bigger than 9,000. 8,450 is bigger than 7,200. They want this side, they want to know when is this side larger than this one. So when I look, that first happens right here at 2. 5760 is larger than 5492. So my answer is 2 years. Okay, so even if you were to do a table, it wouldn't take you long to get to 2 because you're looking for when is the second one greater than the first one. Okay. All right, now we did tables for these, and I talked about calculator inactive. That's the only thing we're going to do. But since I have shown you the calculator now, we're going to do them in here so you can see that that's another way. Again, if it's calculator inactive, we talked about the tables. Calculator active, I wouldn't even mess with the table. I would just go to y equals. So 3,892 plus 17x. Okay, so I've put these two into y1 and y2. They want to know when are they equal. So I'm going to do the same thing that I just talked about. Okay, I'm going to hit, sorry y'all. I'm going to hit second window and make sure that my table starts at 0 and second graph. Okay, so when are they equal? Wow, it's going to take a while. Right here, they are both 4,096 when my x is 12. Okay, so that is the shortcut of the table, but calculator inactive, you don't have any choice but the table. Calculator active, you can do y equals. Okay, all right, same process here. So I'm going to go to y equals and I'm going to type them in. 10,750 times 0.65 to the x. Okay, so again, I have them both typed into my y equals screen. They want to know how many years will it take for Sue's car, which is the second one, to have a greater value than Mac. So they want to know, again, my window is going to start at 0. They want to know when is the second column bigger than the first. So if you look, when is that second column larger than the first, it happens here at 5 years. So that would be our answer. Okay. All right. Same thing here. I would go to y equals and type those in. I'll give y'all just a second to do that so that you can try this one on your own. So you're going to y equals, typing them both in. And then second window, make sure you start at 0, and then second graph, and you will see that they are both equal at 10. Okay, one more real quick. Revenue, cost. Okay, so remember profit equals revenue minus cost. So our profit here is going to be our revenue, which is 8x, minus our cost, which is 3x plus 250. Distribute your negative, and that's going to give me 5x minus 250 for my profit equation. Okay, so that's the first part of your notes for Monday. Okay, the second part is going to take us here where we're going to talk about some domain and range. All right, domain and range is more of a common sense topic. Okay, what makes sense for what we're doing? Okay, one second. All right. Frank has already sold $510 worth of tickets to the Oyster Roast. He has 5 tickets left to sell, and they're $30 a ticket. Write a function to describe how much money he can collect from selling tickets, and then find the reasonable domain and range. Okay, so we should know that domain are your X values and range are your Y values. Okay, it does say write a function to describe how much money he can collect. All right, well, right now, Frank has $510. And then in addition to that, he is going to charge $30 per ticket. So we're going to add 30x to that. Okay, so that will be our general function. Our domain here, X is the amount of tickets he has. Well, remember it says right here he only has 5 tickets left to sell. So our domain is going to be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. Okay, he can sell none, no more. He can sell 1 more, 2 more, 3 more, 4 more, or 5 more. And then your range would be, what do you get if you plug those numbers in? So if I plug a 0 in for X, I get 510. If I plug 5 in for X, I get 150, so it would be 510 plus 150, which is going to be 660, and that's going to be our range. Okay. All right. Space heater. The settings on the space heater are the whole numbers from 0 to 5. Okay. So that's going to be your domain. The whole numbers from 0 to 5. So I'm going to write it the way that you're going to see it written. It's going to be from 0 to 5, and then you just put out here that it has to be whole numbers. That's how they're going to write it. It's got to be between 0 and 5. Okay, let's write our equation. The total number of watts used, so T equals 750 times the setting number, so 750x. All right, so that's going to mean that our range is from 0, if we plug in 0, we get 0, up to 5. So what is 750 times 5? So 3,750. Okay. All right. A mail order company charges $5 per order and $2 per item in the order, up to a maximum of 10 items. Write a function to describe the total charges for one order of X number of items and find the reasonable domain and range. Okay, so let's start with the equation real quick. Write the function. Okay, $5 per order, so Y is going to equal $5 per order plus $2 per item. All right, now let's talk about the domain. So a lot of times it's easy to say, oh, it's from 0 to 10. But if you don't order any items, you're not going to have an order at all. In other words, if you were to put a 0 there, that's to make this equation 5. But you're not going to be charged for you're not going to make an order if you're not ordering any items. So our domain is going to start from 1. And again, those are whole numbers because you're not going to order 1.2 items. Okay, and then your range is just what happens when you plug those two numbers in. So if I plug in 1, 2 times 1 is 2, 5 plus 2 is 7. And then if I plug in 10, 2 times 10 is 20, 20 plus 5 is 25. So that would be my range. Okay, we'll skip that next problem, and we're going to do these last two. Okay, the Key Club has, because these are what the types are on your homework. The Key Club has a case of 500 candy bars that they purchased for $200. The club's profit is given by this equation. So they gave us our profit equation. X is the number the bars sell. What does the $1.50 in the function mean? So remember, for profit, it's revenue minus cost. So the 1.50x is our revenue. So the $1.50 is your revenue. It's how much you're charging. Okay, and the domain are your X values. Well, X here is the number of candy bars. Well, you only have 500 candy bars, so your domain is going to be from 0 to 500. And again, you can either put that those are integers or whole numbers. Okay, either will work. A lot of times it'll be multiple choice, so they're going to have both. All right, and one more of these. The library purchased a case of 1,000 pencils for $50. They sell them for 25 cents each. So let's write that function first. Okay, so our profit is going to be our revenue. So how much are we charging? We're charging 25 cents each minus our cost, which was $50. Your domain, there's 1,000 pencils to sell. So from 0 to 1,000, and again, those are going to be integers or whole numbers. And then what is their profit if they sold 1,000 pencils? So we're going to put 1,000 in for X. And we will get a $200 profit. Okay, so these are your notes that you'll need for your worksheet next, which is I don't remember which worksheet that was. I believe it's going to be 74, I think. It's either 74 or 75. But anyway, that will be your assignment for Tuesday, okay? So your only assignment for today is to watch this video and then fill out the assignment that says you watched this video. The worksheet for this video is your assignment for Tuesday. And then before Wednesday, I will have a second video posted with your assignment for Thursday. If you've got any questions, shoot me an email. Remember, we are all testing all week, so we don't have time to do live meetings, but we can answer any questions you have if you'll shoot them to us in an email, okay? Hope to see y'all again soon. Have a good evening. Let me know if you have any questions.